Hey everyone, welcome to a very special video because this time I have someone with me and it's my really dear friend Ram who does Tantric Astrology reading. And the reason why I asked Ram to join me is because he's actually played a fundamental role in helping me open up, in helping me find my sexual expression and understand what it is that I need. Through you, Ram, really, I really just accepted myself who I am and my expression of femininity. And I was thinking about it recently, speaking to you and just remembering our conversations and how they impacted me. And I was like, I gotta get you on the video. I gotta share it with the people, with my tribe, because it's been absolutely life-changing. So that's why Ram is here on the call today. And just a little thing, Ram has something to offer to you guys, a gift, a total free gift. So make sure you stay till the end because we'll talk about it. But yeah, what I'm really fascinated, and if you guys have been following me, you've seen that I talk about trying to really break this limiting idea of what it means to be a woman these days. I keep hearing people say, seeing all the workshops, how to be more feminine. I personally don't think women need to be more feminine. I think we know how to be feminine. We actually need to understand what femininity is and make space for all of the expressions. And honestly, that's what Ram offered me. Like you, Ram, through our conversations, you offered me understanding that I am feminine, I am an absolute great woman in my expression. Letting go of trying to fit a certain template, which fits for some women, but not for all. And so that's my just huge gratitude towards you. And that's what I want us to talk about in this call.
Sure. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much for being here. So Ram is right now, basically on a different continent almost from me. And I know you're sick. So despite everything, thank you so much for being here today.
For sure. You're welcome.
So Ram, I want to start by telling a little bit how we met and connected years ago. So, you guys, if you've been following, my story that I've been really shut down. I wasn't having orgasm. I thought there's something wrong with me, and I just had absolutely no idea what to do to open up. And it started costing me a lot of things, like a relationship. So I had a lot of judgments, especially because my father always would tell me that a woman should be very subtle and warm and take care of home, and I was like, I don't really fit that idea. So I struggled accepting myself. I felt there was something wrong with me, and that was both on the emotional level and the physical level as well. And that was really, I think, our first interaction even. So when I met Ram, I was basically complaining to him like, oh my God, I have such a big ass, and I don't really feel super sexy, and I look at all of these other women and they look so great. I'm like, why is my body like that? And do you remember what he replied to that?
Yeah, I think that after being absolutely shocked that such a feminine and beautiful woman feels that way about herself, I decided to share with you my opinion, which is that you have a very pronounced and strong presence, very strong feminine presence on the root chakra, because you're a Virgo astrologically, and your body and energy oozes the energy of Muladhara chakra, which is a very sensual, very heavy, very feminine, very creative energy. And I find it that it's my job to tell you that there is nothing you need to change. And also that there are many men, for example, who are your opposite pole, that they are expressing their masculinity on the earth element, and therefore all these subtle, refined, lighted energy women would never satisfy them. And that is why every person, especially women with wrong conception about what femininity is, would benefit so much from seeing whatever they have as a feminine gift and just go out there in the world with confidence and love and just offer that, because there is always someone on the other hand who fits just your temperament and energy style.
Yeah, so for me, like, it's crazy. I don't even know how many years ago that conversation happened, but it's just stuck in my head because I remember I went from judging myself, and again, like hearing my dad judge my body and my way of being, and hearing all of this idea, oh, be more feminine, be more gentle. And I even had, that was a funny story, because I even had a client, like someone who's been following me, tell me that, hey Magda, like, I don't think you're very vulnerable. I'm like, what do you mean vulnerable? And they're like showing me other, you know, tantra teachers who are just like super flowy, like butterflies. I'm like, that's just not me. And so I've gone through years of not accepting myself, of thinking that I'm too manly, too masculine, too strong. And then you show up in my life. And basically what you said is like, no, that's how you should be. That's good. That's your nature. That's your expression of sexuality and femininity. And it's great. And you were the first person, I think, who presented this to me from a different perspective. You didn't tell me to change. You told me, like you said, it's just a specific way of expressing your energy. I'm a Virgo. That means I have this earthy, strong energy. And that's how I am. And since then, I've been able to accept it in myself and express it to my partners. And it's only when that happens, right? It's only after our conversations, when I accepted this and started talking about what I want and what I need, is that I finally started meeting lovers who would actually meet me sexually and satisfy me. I realized I was never fully satisfied before because I wouldn't allow myself to express my desires the way that are natural to me. And I would try to squeeze myself into something that wasn't really myself. So can you speak a little bit more? Because I'm fully open here. So I have a specific expression. Can you speak more about what it means to be an earthy woman? Like, just as an example to all of the other women listening, like, here is an example of the femininity that we don't talk much about. Can you speak more about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, first of all, it is important to say that every person have all the four elements, earth, water, fire, and air, in their body, psychology, energy, and even sexuality, just in different proportions. And the thing is that when we have the idea of what is manly, what is womanly, what is romantic, what is loving, what is dirty, what is clean, we have all kind of misconceptions about certain things. And it happens to be that the earth element, being the most, in a way, primal, instinctive, in a way, animalistic, close to the ground type of typology, that one specifically has been labeled as dirty and unfeminine, because this is where in the earth element there is a lot of physicality, so the need to feel strong touch, the need to feel overpowered, the need to make sounds that might sound like, I don't know what, like roaring lions and whatever. So vocally and physically, the earth element is very powerful, very strong. So this would be the kind of women who might need a man that is massively bigger and stronger to throw them around, to grab them, not in lovingly, but firmly, and throw them on the bed and maybe pull their hair, etc. And then if you feel, oh my God, this is what I want and what I need to feel turned on, and then I get a very light touched romantic guy who caresses me and wants to show his love in a very gentle way, and I need to be grabbed and thrown down, so maybe I'm dirty, like this romantic nice guy is here and I'm this wild animal and might be something wrong about me. So I've seen in my work as a yoga teacher and a tantra teacher many times, especially women who have this earthy need, who feel dirty or feel unladylike, and they don't realize that this is a very powerful gift, and there is nothing that says that you cannot express this strong, physical, intense sexuality without love. Like, it has nothing to do with romance and love. It just has something to do with the expression of that energy.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing this up, because that's exactly how I felt. So I've been aware that you know, I liked always rough sex, but then yeah, I mean, that's not something you see in movies. That's not something you ever hear about unless unless it's about, oh, it's porn, it's too intense, it's bad. So I kept hearing messages, the intense sexuality is not healthy, it's not sacred, it's not tantric. And so, yeah, I was like, gosh, I think there's really like something really, really wrong with me. Like, do I need to go to a, psychologist because there's just something wrong with me? Yeah, and then exactly through learning about these different typologies, like you mentioned, I understood that, oh, okay, that's just how I am. And I think it's really important what you said is that you can be in this animalistic energy, and it doesn't mean you're not loving. It doesn't mean there is no romance. It doesn't mean that it's cold, because I mean, my lovemaking and my relationships have been super loving and very tantric. But still, like you said, that's for me the gateway to feel really fully awakened. It's like if this energy gets activated for me, if I'm being met on this level, then I feel like, okay, I can really go deep. And I think what's amazing is that, like you said, it is about sexuality, but not just about sexuality. I have this very strong physicality that is shown in other areas of my life. Like, for example, I love going to the gym and do weights, like properly doing weights. Because like you said, it's the physical aspect that's super important. Another example that's been very vivid for me is, like you said, women of the type of femininity like mine, we like feeling strong men's body. And so I was always attracted to men with really good physics. And I had a girlfriend tell me once that, wow, Magda, you're so superficial. And again, I was like, wow, oh my God, am I really superficial? And I started beating myself up. But like you said, it's not about that. It's just that the physical aspect is just really important for me. So that's why exactly I will be working out. And that's why I need my men to have a strong body, because it's a physical representation of this specific energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that one of the most important lessons that I've learned about Tantra as a philosophy, and when I say Tantra, I don't mean just the sexual aspect, I mean classical Tantra as a way of life, is that we start spirituality from where we are. And it's very beautiful because it means you don't have to be anything that you are not right now to start on the path. But it also means that you have to accept where you are to start from where you are. And that is why there is no starting point about what we like or not like, about what our body tells us that we need, that is not okay to include in Tantra, simply because God is in everything and there is not one single authentic need of our body that cannot be sanctified if it is done with the right awareness.
Yeah, I really like this approach, and we talk about, because by the way, for everyone listening, like Ram is my go-to person for astrology. So about a month ago, I had my birthday, so I also had a reading with Ram about this new year of my life, and I always told you, like, for me, what astrology has given me is self-acceptance. Like as a Virgo, I would, for example, have a tendency of have incredibly negative thoughts, and always I would judge myself. And through astrology, you're like, well, that's what you like. Like, these are different traits and tools and energies that you have when you come to this life. And now, instead of fighting against them, look at it as your toolkit, as great gifts that you have, like ingredients, and then work with that, because that's kind of that's your natural state. So for me, it's just like, I cannot even express my gratitude to you for how much you've allowed me to accept myself. And honestly, like when you're talking about this sexual expression of needing to be like grabbed and tossed, I'm right now in a beautiful relationship, and that meets me perfectly on that level, perfectly. And the reason why I'm here is because I started talking about it, I started expressing it. I got to the point when, like, first date with a guy, I would say, well, this is what I'm like. That's how I move through life. And yes, I'm a business person as well. I'm focused, I'm determined. I have a lot of fire in me as well, on top of the earth. So for me, that's just been the biggest gift. And that's why I wanted to get you on the call, because there are many different types of women. and you talked about these 4 specific elements, these 4 main typologies of femininity and sexuality, but then every woman is different because, like you said, we have a specific combination of these elements and they will play out differently in different areas of our lives. And this is why I just honestly think that every person on this planet should get a reading done to understand what's your typology, so that instead of fighting against your nature because other people are different, or because that's what we hear from, you know, different sources, whether it's media or modern tantra, and just no, this is what I am. I love myself, I accept myself, and that's what I'm working with in this life. And that leads me to you, my love, and to the special gift that we have for the listeners. Would you like to talk about it more?
Yeah, sure. So Magda, as Magda said, Magda and I have both met in the context of studying Tantra and the sexual aspects of Tantra. And one of my works has been to combine modern and traditional Western astrology with the teachings of yoga on various levels. And astrology is an amazing tool that has changed my life on many ways, and the understanding of the correct typology of every person around sexuality and relationship is just one aspect that astrology can reveal and has revealed for me and for many other people. So I do readings of all sorts, addressing all the aspects of life, but specifically for the people who are working with Magda on opening up to their full potential in sexual tantra, I would like to offer a sort of taste of astrology. So I would like to offer you a short 20-minute session where we will meet live like this on Zoom or Skype. And for about 10-15 minutes, based on your specific horoscope, which is based on your specific time and place of birth, I would give you tips on what kind of feminine presence is strong in you, what is the feminine archetype that attracts in you and manifests in you, and based on that, what would be some basic sexual gifts and needs and skills that you might have that if you would accept and fully open to them, like what happened with Magda, you would have a much more fulfilling and loving and self-accepting sexuality. And as well, looking a little bit into what kind of masculine men would, like masculine energy, would fit that. So it would be a brief session of about 10-15 minutes, but still in that time, I could give a good pointers into what that would be.
Yes, and thank you, Ram. Thank you so much for this, because that basically, guys, that session is totally free for you. So if you've never had a professional astrology reading done, I would really just totally urge you to do this. And by the way, we're not talking about astrology that you get in newspapers like Astrology of the Week. That's a total, like, you know, that's a whole different story. We're talking about something specific for you that basically looks exactly at your energy type, like who you are, not who people are in general. People who say that astrology doesn't work, in my opinion, are those who just take this kind of general astrological readings. But once you go in depth into your chart, you'll see like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And so that's basically what Ram is offering to you, and I'm so grateful to you for doing this. So we'll post a link how you can get in touch with Ram to be able to book your session. And exactly like I said, for me, it's been life-changing, and I still speak to Ram, you know, if there's anything happening in my life, okay, how can I have the support of this bigger system in my life? But honestly, like I said, for me, talking, and specifically to you, Ram, not any other person but you, and getting tantric astrology reading done for me, that's what opened the door for everything to me. Where I am right now in life, like you were kind of the one who, you know, like opened the door, and then I could walk through it. So I'm just super, super grateful, and thank you so much for joining me on this call. Like I said, despite being sick, thank you so much. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, that you got some good value. And you know, we're probably gonna do more of these videos with Ram. We're probably gonna go in more depth in different aspects, so stay tuned for that.
I'm looking forward to that, and I'm so happy to be invited on your project. I really admire the work that you do and supporting people walk through the path that you have done yourself. And definitely, I would like to be here again and just talking to you in front of your group and tribe about all these amazing things. So thank you so much, Magda, and we'll stay in touch.